Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this vital session on sustaining rail excellence through maintenance innovation. India's rail network is the backbone of our economy, moving over 8 billion passengers annually and growing at an unprecedented pace. However, with increased demand comes the critical challenge of ensuring reliability, efficiency, and sustainability. Maintenance isn't just about keeping trains running, it's about enhancing the availability of rolling stock for revenue service, ensuring better planning, and creating greater opportunities to generate income for operators. Emerging technologies like predictive maintenance, aided by real time monitoring and data insights, have already demonstrated their ability to reduce costs by up to 30%. But its true value lies in optimizing operations, maximizing fleet availability, and delivering a superior passenger experience. We are privileged to have three eminent leaders who have been instrumental in shaping India's urban rail landscape joining us now. First, we have Shri Mahendra Kumar, the Director of Electrical and Rolling Stock at National Capital Region Transport Corporation, NCRTC. With a distinguished career in rail infrastructure, Shri Kumar has been pivotal in advancing the Delhi-Ghaziabad-Meerut RRTS corridor. Joining us also is Shri Ashok Tiwari, Executive Director, Rolling Stock at Delhi Metro Rail Corporation, DMRC. An Indian Engineering Service officer from the 1994 batch, Shri Tiwari brings more than 3 decades of multidisciplinary experience to his role. As Executive Director, Rolling Stock, he oversees the maintenance of the entire rolling stock of DMRC through 15 depots and ensuring the seamless operation of one of the world's largest metro networks. And finally, we are honored to have Mr. Rajiv Joycer with us, Managing Director for Services and Commercial Director at Alstom India. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you all for joining us. I would like to start with you, sir, Ashokji. New trains, new metro lines, high speed. India is really going places and it's going to be connectivity like never before. But I'm sure this does come with some challenges. What are the challenges you foresee as a leading operator?
Yeah, the major challenges which I consider is one is of financing these projects because funding is a major challenge. And the other is the viability of these projects. The planning, urban planning, integrating various modes of transport with metro, that is also a very challenge. And then finding the right transport solution for respective tier of cities, that is another challenge. Because one size fits all formula cannot be there in the entire landscape of the country.
Mahendraji, rapid rail has become critical to urban mobility. How does rapid rail get impacted by proper maintenance? What kind of maintenance are we talking about here? What are the protocols that have been developed? And what is the discipline one needs to follow so that we have world-class in rail infrastructure, even in RRTS?
The factors which govern the maintenance cost is the electricity cost, which is generally 1/3 of the total operations and maintenance cost, and balance 2/3 costs are for other manpower and other maintenance costs. So, basically electricity cost generally how we take care of. In the beginning itself during the designs we look for energy efficient technology for all the systems, for the rolling stock or for the traction or for the lifts and escalators. So, we go for the energy efficient. The second aspect which decides is the maintenance cost. Till now we were doing the preventive maintenances. Preventive maintenances are basically the maintenances which we anticipate or which we schedule it. We call it various schedules, schedule 1, schedule 2. So, those whether the maintenance is required or not, we go ahead for that. Now, the latest trend which can reduce the cost of the maintenance is basically the predictive maintenances. So, predictive maintenances, we have a lot of redundancies. The same formula cannot work for the maintenance for all the systems.
Rajiv, can you tell us how rail maintenance has evolved globally and how do you see this life cycle based maintenance model changing the relationships between OEMs and the operators? And what benefits does this bring? He's explained the preventive and the predictive, but what are the benefits that come out?
India's rail ecosystem is evolving quite rapidly. and even expanding, I would say. Thanks to the various initiatives that the government has launched in building and modernizing the rail infrastructure, they announced an unprecedented budget this year. I would say the rail infrastructure projects, as Mr. Tiwari said, are very capital intensive, but it also requires a very careful management of the OPEX to make them economical viable, but also sustainable. Now, to maximize the utilization of these assets, because they have life cycle of almost 30 to 35 years, and in the last 4-5 years, the procurement model has evolved from not just acquisition of assets, but acquisition of assets plus life cycle. Now, this has opened up the door for OEMs like us to not only develop and offer solutions, but also in a way to help them or help our customers achieve the best value of our assets. So this is very important, where most of the projects like Namo Bharat, Delhi Phase 4, Bangalore, Chennai, Bhopal, Indore, Mumbai, they're all following the same bundled approach. Overall, I believe maintenance scope has become an integral part now of any rail project because of capital incentive. But it also is a win-win and a future-looking model, as we see.
How? Does it bring in efficiencies only to the operators? Does it give you a platform to be able to, bundle product plus services and hence give more value? Could you elaborate on that?
Initially, it was more of an acquisition model, an acquisition at a lower cost. But after 5 years, the railway operator used to be the maintainer. But when you just acquire, and this, as I said, the assets have a life cycle of 30 to 35 years, you want to make sure that you maximize the utilization. Now, when we as an OEM have to develop these assets, keeping in mind that we are the maintainer, we develop the solutions in a way that the life cycle cost is a priority. Because this can vary for 15 years, 20 years, or even 30, 35 years. So we need to now relook at our strategy of offering our solution in a different way.
Ashok ji, the retail analogy of this is कि AC लिया, AC के साथ AMC भी उसी company से ले ली. So could you tell us, with this life cycle based maintenance model, how does this impact your day-to-day operations when it comes to maintenance and efficiencies?
So definitely when we opt for a life cycle based model, I would say that even the manufacturers are also on their toes, the OEMs, because they will offer a better product because they have to maintain it
So
for
they
a
are
very
responsible
long
for it,
period.
yes.
So they are responsible for it. They don't have to just sell the product. They have to give a very long-term support. In railways, Vande Bharat, they have done it for 35 years. So virtually they have taken the entire life of the train. The manufacturer has to maintain it. So that gives great challenges to the OEMs, and it gives, I would say, peace of mind to the user, the operator, because they will be peacefully operating the system and they will not be busy with the day-to-day maintenance of the system, training of the people, spares management, everything gets transferred for that duration to the OEM.
So how does it benefit you? What do you then get more out of it, because your time is free? So are you looking at maximizing runtime, greater efficiencies, more revenue?
Obviously, we then go for better KPIs, maybe better availability of the trains. So this is, I would say that will help in better reliability. It optimizes our expenditure also, because some functions we are now opting for an outsourcing model where maybe the manufacturer who is better placed to offer solutions, to offer spares, everything, and management of the maintenance. So that way, I think overall cost optimization will definitely come in, and better reliability of the services also.
All right. So it seems that the operators are really getting the maximum bang for their buck by partnering with OEMs for lifestyle maintenance, because there are a lot of efficiencies and a better product in the end that comes about. So Rajiv, talking about predictive maintenance, how are you able to deliver maximum impact in the maintenance processes for the operators, and how are you developing a supply chain for this?
So let me elaborate a bit. First of all, to develop such solutions or applying, let us say, the supply chain, you need to have a solid experience, a proven track record, which Alstom has for nearly 50 years, and it's global. So we bring the skills and the experience, the tools and the technology, the flexible and the scalable maintenance solutions, and then we apply it. Now, as we speak, we have nearly 6,000 talent available who are operating in 250 plus sites today, more than 40 countries, and delivering more than 1,400 contracts. Now, how do we do that? I mean, we try to create value through partnership by combining the strengths of our customer and Alstom's capability. And the way we demonstrate these solutions, it's like spreaded across the life cycle of a product or an asset, with a range of expertise which varies from rolling stock, signaling, systems, as well as depots. Now, the use of these digital technologies and the innovative tools is fundamental in our approach. Includes leveraging advanced analytics, AI, real-time monitoring, which we do with a lot of rule engines, which are algorithms, which are meant to detect this kind of potential failures before they occur. And that is basically what we call it as predictive maintenance, more like a condition monitoring rather than time-based logic. This allows us to minimize the downtime and get the best fleet performance. This is how we bring value. Now, some of the tools which I think we already discussed, like the train scanner, the infra scanner, they are immensely helpful in automating the inspection process of the train. We use Health Hub, which is more for using the predictive maintenance or the condition-based monitoring. Again, it helps to reduce the downtime, and that is what an operator needs. How to increase the availability of the train, how to make it more reliable, and how do we enhance the passenger experience and also the safety. So overall, if you see, we are actually well positioned. This is what we are demonstrating in the projects that we are executing today. And we believe that broad spectrum of flexible solutions that we have can help our customers to increase the value of their assets. So this is what we do.
All right, Rajiv, Alstom is a global leader when it comes to rail solutions. What works abroad? Is it an easy copy-paste in India, or does India have its unique challenges and issues? If yes, how do you address these unique issues?
Very good question. I would say there is no copy-paste solution as such, but there is definitely an experience, or let us say, you don't start with a complete
blank slate,
fresh ground. You use the experience of what is happening globally in terms of the solution or the platform, I would say. You need to definitely adapt to the Indian condition, because each rolling stock is different. The performance requirements are different. The environmental conditions are different. The need of the customers are different. And even the application of the solutions are different. So as I said, we have a lot of solution, but to give you some concrete example, now some customers say, look, I want you guys to do the complete rolling stock maintenance for me because you are better equipped. And in that case, we undertake the complete comprehensive maintenance, wherein we do preventive but also corrective maintenance. We do minor and major overhauling. And the idea is, again, to extend the life of the asset, to give the best value of those assets and enhance operations. Some customers say, look, we will do our maintenance, but you help us with the supply chain and the technical support. So we bring parts, component, and overall solution for them. And in that, our idea is actually that we provide the technical support, but also the availability of the spares. Over a life cycle, they get obsolete, so we also give obsolescence management to them. We also help them in overhauling. So in a way, depending on the customer need, we cater our solution and apply that here in India. Some customer and now some of the fleets are getting old or they are reaching midlife. They prefer asset life management. So this is where we come in, and we have again variety of way of how you can modernize. The objective being again, how do we enhance passenger experience, but also the value of the asset. So we have something called life modernization, which is like, okay, we rejuvenate our system and it extends the life. Then we have something called smart modernization. So there, some customers say, look, we want to upgrade our technology. We do that, and it brings again more value in terms of enhancing the passenger experience, because we can, change the interiors, we can change with the modern technology, maybe from GTA to IGBT. So it helps even improve the performance of the train. And then there is something called green modernization, wherein we can also bring technology which is not only doing what life modernization and smart modernization does, but even reducing the environmental impact by being more energy efficient. So these are some of the examples, but not the only ones. We can also undertake the complete system level maintenance, which means we bring a very integrated solution in terms of train operation and maintenance, where we become a manufacturer, maintainer, as well as operator. And that integrated solution can enhance the overall system availability.
Mahendraji, in our country, we are seeing a lot of development and expansion when it comes to a rail network, long distance, metro, all of it. Rajiv has elaborated upon, what they are doing for the skilling. Are you seeing enough work being done there, or do you see a gap?
Really very nice question. This is really the demand of the hour. I'll just give you an example how we are trying to meet this in NCRTC. We have developed a asset management system. So in this asset management system, what we have done, we have identified about 60,000 of our equipments, and each equipment has a barcode, and the maintainer goes to the site. Suppose I'll give an example. So say one of the AFC gate goes out of order. AFC is automatic fare collection gate, goes out of order. The technician, who can be a common technician, he may not be a very skilled technician. He goes there. The problem is there. He scans the barcode, and at a centralized place, there is a skilled technician sitting there, and he guides him. He scans the code, so the technician at the centralized place knows which AFC has problem and what the problem is there, and then he guides him, he sends a annotation. So we are developing it. We are almost making barcodes for all our 60,000 identified assets, and this will minimize the requirement of the skilled engineers. And then further, yes, for the construction stages, we have to further work how to have more skilled manpower for this work. We can think of having a centralized pool who can guide us across all the metros.
Rajiv, this sounds very interesting. Barcode, DIY model of troubleshooting a problem that has come about. What is Alstom doing to develop the talent pipeline so that it gels well with these new technologies and overnight we find solutions?
So as I said, using these tools and technology requires certain skills, and therefore we have a specific program. This program has a number of modules. So we have online, let us say, calibration of this kind of usage of tools and technology. We expose our people to some of these projects where these are being live used. They are part of the development program. Some of these tools and technology are being developed actually in India also. And then we apply some specific modules wherein we are trying to use this in some of the ongoing project as Namo Bharat. as Bhopal Indore, as Delhi Phase 4. So we believe this skillful or upskilling or training programs are very important. Management system is again one example. So our systems has to be integrated in the overall asset management system. So we jointly work with our customers who actually own this asset management system. We need to make sure that we deploy all the necessary interfaces. And by doing these things, we make sure that our people are well equipped to support. In fact, we have prompt response team, which is what exactly Mr. Mahinda said. They sit in this kind of control room, and they are the ones who actually gets those alerts, and they are the experts to give the first level of diagnosis or the what to do when situation like this happens. So we actually are developing this kind of expertise in deploying our technology, because it's very important that we are able to provide the services that we have signed off for. And we are also in the future going to develop something called maintenance program center. Now, these are kind of virtual control rooms where we will be having our experts who will be looking at all the programs or the projects which are going on in India, be it locomotive, be it metro, be it commuter train. And the idea is, how do we synergize the learnings of all these solutions centrally with those experts and give this feedback to the employees to factor that maybe there is a need to upgrade certain tools or the real life data. This whole loop of training, real time data feedback is very important to upskill our people and train and make them ready for the future.
All right. Ashokji, I want to talk about sustainability here. Does maintenance help reduce your carbon footprint?
Definitely. When we say environment sustainability, there are two elements to it. One is electricity, how we conserve electricity. So from that point of view, I'll tell you, DMRC all along, since our initiation of the project, we have always gone for the most energy efficient systems. So that is one. When you select the system, when you specify at that point of time what is the most energy efficient system available, you only select those. The second part of it is that we have enhanced the use of renewable energy in our project, so that renewable energy mix in the metro energy consumption basket. At present, DMRC has almost 35% of solar energy we are using of the total consumption. And then we are in fact, in the coming years, definitely I understand it will be almost 50% will become renewable. And apart from that, the other important resource which is responsible for sustainability is water. So in metros like our underground stations, there used to be huge consumption of water for the air conditioning purposes. In this phase 4, we have completely migrated to air-cooled chillers. So for one underground station, I can tell you the average consumption of water is almost 50,000 liters per day. From that, we have got it reduced to 200 liters or maybe 150 liters per day. So it's a huge savings, and I would say it's a major step towards sustainability. So we have been taking all along a lot of measures from sustainability point of view.
That's great. That's great
Yeah,
to hear.
yeah.
Mahinderji, would like to know your inputs on sustainability and whether maintenance, lifestyle maintenance actually brings about lower carbon emissions.
Yes, yes, it brings. I'll just cite some examples. Earlier, I was in Delhi Metro. We had the first, in Dwarka Sector 21, we had the 500 kilowatt rooftop solar plant. And that was in 2014, and subsequently it never looked back. We do in a model called RESCO model, a renewable energy supply company model, where you don't invest. The investment is by somebody else, and you pay for the units. And that payment is much lower than the state electricity board's cost. So there is a saving on that. Number two, we have been always taking care of rainwater harvesting at all the stations in the depot. I would say in my first project, DMRC, then Lucknow Metro, and now in NCRTC also, this has been followed in all the projects. Further to add, in NCRTC, at the stations, what we have provided the energy efficient solar plants. So sustainability has been given due importance. Even in the design stage, the rolling stock has regenerative braking. The lifts, the escalator, the lifts also have regenerative braking. The high-end escalators with rise more than where there is a possibility of regeneration, high-rise escalators, they have the regenerative braking. We have been taking care of in all the energy efficient with higher values of COP for the air conditioners and chillers. So that has been given due care.
Rajiv, can you talk about some of the proven maintenance solutions in Alstom portfolio, and can you give us examples of how they've been deployed in India?
As I mentioned earlier, so some of them we are using very classically are the rolling stock maintenance, which we call it comprehensive maintenance. We have deployed that in Namo Bharat trains today, even not only for rolling stock, but even for signaling system. This we have been deploying today in India in most of the project. Besides that, we have numerous projects where we have supplied components, and therefore the need from the customer is that how do you help us to continue the asset with the components that you have supplied, and these are noble parts. So it's a technology driven, and therefore we need to ensure that we are providing the right technical support and the obsolescence management. So we have done that in most of the locomotive equipment that we are supplying to railways, or the equipment that we are supplying for EMUs and the memos, which are plying in various parts of the country. One major operation is Mumbai, where today 8.5 million passengers are traveling every day. So we feel proud when we are associated with such programs and we are able to give the service. So I would say these are the classic examples, and we believe it allows us to bring in newer technologies in India, adapt it to the Indian conditions, and allow a better passenger experience and better KPIs for our customers. So again, a good win-win model.
Thank you, gentlemen, for speaking with us. It was really very interesting to understand the different facets of life cycle-based maintenance models. It's a pleasure having you with us on this show. India's rail network is at a pivotal moment of transformation. By adopting innovative life cycle focused practices and leveraging advanced technologies, we have the chance to create a rail ecosystem that is not just efficient and reliable, but also aligned with the country's ambitious sustainability and economic goals. Thank you to our esteemed panelists for joining us, for their insights and engaging in this wonderful conversation. Let's continue to work towards sustaining rail excellence for generations to come. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you.